Hey folks, so let me review some more of this music, okay? Because I've gotten a bunch lately and I really appreciate it, folks. Thank you so much. I'm going to start with another public Eyesore release, okay? And this one is by Alan Sondheim, Azure Carter, and Luke Damrosch. Public Eyesore is the right name for this label because they put out art and music that is not entertainment and not for the faint of heart. And this is a good example. Alan Sondheim is an artist who has several degrees. His wife Azure Carter. Luke is also has degrees and I forget what, but these people are serious artists. Alan's been around since the 60s. One of his first releases is on the ESP label in 1967. This is hard to describe and it's not easy to dive into it. It's a mixture of acoustic instruments from around the world, Azure Carter's vocals, electronics. Sounds like nothing you've heard before. And it can strike one as, well, this just sounds like gibberish or noise or something I don't quite comprehend. But what I understand, and I like this actually, this is one of my favorites of the stuff he sent me. There is a methodology here, there's a theory going on. These people are quite intelligent and are on a path, an artistic path with this work. I think that needs to be understood because a casually hearing something like this, if you're not into it, you may get a really negative impression and just think this is junk. But when you take the time to explore with it, it's like discovering new worlds. That's what it's like. It's like discovering places and ideas that you didn't know existed. Limit. Very interesting work. Can't really tell you what Azure Carter is singing about. Her singing is almost kind of like a plain song. Almost, I'll say it, almost irritating. It's like she's singing, but she's not trying to make it. I say that she's not trying to make it pretty. She's just singing. Very interesting work. Public Eyesore is a label that we need. Very daring. Very daring. I recommend this one. Limit. Alan Sondheim with Azure Carter and Luke Damrosch. I recommend this one, okay? Not an easy ride though, okay? Andrea, I'm going to pick at more at what you sent me. The last things I'm going to review in a video are your label releases, okay? Because I want to do them right, and I haven't heard them at the right moment. You know what I'm saying? You understand that? But what I can talk about that you sent me is the Verdena. Andrea has been very kind to me. Never met him. He's over in Italy. He started his own record label. But we have some common taste. So he turned me on to this Italian band, Verdena, by sending me this album a while back. I don't know how many years it's been now. Wow. And I had and have a positive, 2011 is when this came out, positive impression of this album, of this band. When I first heard them, they struck me as intense, with a slightly punky energy, but not sounding punk, sounding like something between Radiohead and Muse, and something completely original. Then he sent me their album Verdena, Endkadenz Volume 1, which I like. Still, I'm not totally familiar with, but he just sent me Volume 2 of Verdena's Endkadenz. This one I've listened to more. Really like this band. Turns out, or doesn't turn out, but I looked them up a little bit to find out more. And the band is primarily two brothers, which I think has to do with the uniqueness of the sound and the intensity. There's something about family members, relatives working together, DNA, blood, something. The mixture can be, it can make it more intense. There's lots of examples throughout history of this. I think that's part of what's going on here with this band, why they have a unique approach and why it's so intense is these brothers have some sort of vision or shared belief or something. The music, they sing in Italian, so I have no idea what they're singing about, which is fine with me. You know, I don't really need to know. I just know that this band is really interesting and younger than me, much younger than me, and they do different things. There's even an instrumental on here where it's almost like library music, which I love, you know. So Andrea, thank you so much for turning me on to this band. I do recommend finding out about Verdena, Italian band, you know. I mean, there's even aspects of shoegaze in some songs, you know. There's pop elements. I love it. I really do. Something else that I can speak about that you sent me is you. This is so kind of you. I'm talking to one person, so let me just open it up. Andrea went and saw the band the Winstons and picked up their CD. He told me he wanted to get it on vinyl for me, but they had ran out. But he got the band to sign it for me, if you can see that. And they signed it to Dereck. This is a psychedelic band that also has a bit of the Canterbury feel to it, which I absolutely love. Canterbury prog is best understood by knowing about these musicians who come from the part of England called Canterbury. Caravan, Soft Machine, Egg, Hatfield in the north. There's a vibe and a sound that they have that I absolutely love. One of my most favorite sounds is the Canterbury sound. And there's some of that in what the Winstons do, but it's not primarily prog. I'd say this is more psychedelic. I love that cover art, and if that appeals to you, you want to hear this. I really like this a lot. Andrea, thank you so much. With that in mind, one more thing I will review and give thanks for, maybe a couple more things now. This one, Dave Newhouse of the Muffins, has become a friend of mine. We haven't met yet, but we interact on the internet fairly regularly. He recently put this out, Secret Signals by the Muffins #1. This originally came out on cassette many years back, and this is the first time it's available in another format. And what we have here is the origins of the Muffins, recordings from their original 4-track tapes. Apparently some of this is from before they even decided to call themselves the Muffins. There's a playful aspect to some of this, but what I would say I love this is that you can hear where they got the sound of the Canterbury, their thing. They've got it already. The sound is intact from the beginning, and I love it. The Muffins are one of my favorite bands. I do, and I can't recommend this enough. I've said all the words that you need to hear. Caravan, Soft Machine, Hatfield. The Muffins, do you know the Muffins? I mean, they're one of the Canterbury bands, except they're from America. They've got it. They've got it. This is so cool, and thank you so much for sending it to me, Dave. And nice packaging. Sends a little card with a Newhouse music on it. I love it. Okay, one more thing I'll speak about, because people have been very kind. I really appreciate this, folks. I really appreciate you sending me music. I'll review this, and then I'll make a comment about that. Don't want to forget. I recently heard from a watcher, I believe his name is Mark, who heard me talk about my copy of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, because recently we've had the 50th anniversary edition remixed you know, which is going around. He said he wanted me to have a copy. He's from England, but he bought a copy from Amazon, had it sent directly to me. So I have the stereo remix double album, Sgt. Pepper, the second album of alternates, outtakes from the studio. Thank you so much, Mike. This is awesome of you to do. I have not gotten into the second album of outtakes very much, but I can tell you that the remix is brilliant. They do it so you can hear it in 21st century Technicolor or whatever you want to say. I can understand why Ringo is really happy with it, because you can hear the drums like you've never heard. There are many aspects of the mix, that things happening in the music never heard before. So they did something where beyond just repackaging this, okay? They did polish a gem. It's not a turd, okay? But I still criticize the idea that, well, as long as we can make money off these people, that we're going to do it. What I mean by this is that there's so much music in the world that deserves to be heard, and here we have people with good money just buying the same damn record over and over again. Does that irk me a little bit? Yeah. Especially as an artist, yeah. You know, how many damn times you need to hear Sgt. Pepper's? Okay? Mark, I believe the guy that sent it to me, also sent me a link to his music on Bandcamp, so I will mention it, okay? However, I am going to say something that may piss some people off, and you just have to take it. People are still sending me links where they want me to review their stuff on Bandcamp. I'm not going to do it. If you want me to review something, send me something, okay? I do appreciate records, but I appreciate receiving stuff, you know. I can't, obviously I'm not going to get away from receiving CDs. I'm having to resort to making CDs because of economy. But I'm not going to review stuff straight off of Bandcamp. No, I'm not going to. Don't have to. But the guy that sent me, Mark, I believe is his name, is a musician, has a page on Bandcamp, and I think his thing is called, his music is called Project Gemini. It might be a band or it might just be him. I gave it a listen a second time, so I'll let you know, Mark, that yes, you're good. It sounds like a slightly metally progressive sound. I mean, there's keyboards and the big chords, but there's also the guitars and the kind of metally drums. I didn't pay attention to what the singing is about because I just don't, you know. But my impression is good. The vocal style, the way it hit me was kind of like, a little more metal Steve Hackett, maybe? Thought it was pretty good. So, Mark, there's my feedback for your music. I want to just say, thank you folks very much for your kindness. And I'm going to say it again, because I do still have to delete sometimes troll messages who swear I'm a scammer. Fuck you people. I'm an honest artist, and I've never scammed anybody for anything. If anything, what I'm asking you to do is show your love and support for me by buying my music and my art. I never ask anybody for nothing, okay? I have music for sale. I have this. Well, no, this is sold out on vinyl. I've still got Flyover on vinyl, but that's how I'm trying to make it as an artist. My gigs, my records, my CDs, and now my visual art. Some of you folks who have been following me for a while know that when I got my test pressings for my records, I would make collage art for the blank sleeves, just for my own entertainment. Did a art residency a few years ago, and extended the work doing that, which led to an exhibit. Now they're on exhibit at a coffee house that just opened, Zen Coffee. It actually has its grand opening on Friday. I'm going to go down and do a video from there and show you how it looks. But that art is for sale. That's how I'm trying to make a living as a musician artist, okay? Ain't no fucking scam artists here, you know? I really get sick of you people. You just won't let me alone. And you people who don't know what I'm talking about, just deal with it. I'm the one who's victimized by these motherfuckers, you know? So yeah, I'm trying to make an honest living. Okay, and I appreciate the music you guys send me. I love receiving free music, and I deserve it. I do, yeah. I do. Thank you very much.